It's finally the season for my viral brown butter pecan sweet potato casserole. And yes, we are using fresh sweet potatoes. I promise you it's a little more work, but it makes all the difference. After you peel the potatoes, chop them into small pieces. They don't need to look pretty because we're going to mash them up. Just try to make them around the same size so they cook evenly. Next, you're going to put them in a pot and fill it with cold water. Make sure they are completely submerged in the water. Add a big sprinkle of salt. Trust me, it makes a difference. Next, we're going to cook them over medium-high heat for about 20 to 30 minutes until they're tender. When you can slide a fork straight through them, they're ready. Drain the water and set aside. Now we're going to brown the butter, and I promise you it's so easy, don't overthink it. You'll want to have the heat over medium-low. Once you see little bubbles popping up, you're going to want to make sure you keep the butter moving. You don't want it to burn. Once the butter starts looking like this and it gets a little foamy on top, it's go time. You have to keep it moving. It can burn really, really easily at this point. Now, as soon as you see the slightest change in color right there, you can see it starting to darken. You're going to want to turn that heat off and finish cooking this with no heat. You can see now we've ended up with a really beautiful golden amber color. It's so beautiful. This is exactly what we need. I'm transferring this to a measuring cup because we'll need half for the sweet potatoes and half for the topping. To make the topping, you'll need 1 cup of brown sugar, a half cup of old-fashioned oats, a 1/4 cup all-purpose flour, a half cup of roughly chopped pecans, and half of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Gently combine all of the dry ingredients together, and then add half of the browned butter. Once it's combined, it should look something like this. Transfer the cooked potatoes to a large mixing bowl, then add the rest of the browned butter. Mash the potatoes until most of the big lumps are gone. Then we're going to add 7 ounces, which is half of a can of sweetened condensed milk, a splash of vanilla, about a teaspoon, and half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And last but not least, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. I like to use a hand mixer on medium-high speed for this part. It makes the potatoes so smooth and creamy, but you can also use a regular masher or a whisk. Here I'm using a 9x9 baking dish. I do like the casserole to be a little thicker. If you'd like to get more servings out of it, you can easily serve this in a 13x9 instead. I spread the topping from edge to edge. I don't like to leave any of it uncovered. Then I bake it at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes until it's golden brown and the edges are bubbly. Whether you're taking this to Friendsgiving, a family dinner, or a work potluck, everyone's gonna love it.